Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's me, Stateside, and we got Friday Flair for you guys today. We're going to be breaking down every club's big deadline day signing as we enter, the transfer window closing period. These under the radar impact players, game changers, whoever's going to take your team to the next level. We're going to point them out in this video. Let's go ahead. Let's get started with Arsenal. Starting off with our Gunners, Arsenal have already made the signing of Ricardo Calafiori as well as the signing of Mikel Merino, which has been announced Thursday. I'm re-recording the part right now that you would have seen, which would have been me talking about Mikel Merino on deadline, before the deadline. But also the sell of Emil Smith Rowe and potential sell of Eddie Nketiah. That leaves an attacker option for Arsenal to bring in. And I'm going to go with Simon Adingra. I know Amadou Lookman from Atalanta has been an option. I know Eberechi Eze is a popular option of Arsenal fans. I'm going to go with Simon Adingra of Brighton. He's just 22 years old, already has a goal this season, and I think he's one of Brighton's best attackers. I know you've got players like Matoma. I know you've got that new winger that got injured and is the reason that Adingra came on. I think they signed him from Newcastle. But taking a look at some of his stats, 4.49 progressive carries, 1.94 successful take-ons, 6.34 touches in the attacking penalty area, 10.99 progressive passes received, and he also does well coming back in defense, making a lot of his tackles, interceptions, blocks, clearances, so on and so forth. He's just 5'9", very small frame, but I do think he's very quick, very talented dribbler, and I think he's an excellent option for Arsenal moving forward as a backup on the right, left wing, and potentially a player central if they ever came to that where they needed a central player. Up next, we've got Aston Villa. Let's dream big for a moment. Imagine Raheem Sterling in claret and blue. Sterling, has been kind of linked with Aston Villa here these last maybe couple days, especially after he put out that statement after he was left out of the matchday squad. 123 goals and counting for Sterling in the Premier League. I expect he has much more to give as well. Let's not forget he also had 5.23 progressive carries per game, per 90, in the last season. He's constantly driving the ball forward and putting pressure on the defense. This could be a loan move for Villa instead of a full-blown purchase. And if you can get Chelsea to pay for about half his wages, I say go ahead and get that one over the line as well. Bournemouth is in need of a reliable goalkeeper as they look to move on from Neto in the next few years. Obviously, Neto being 35 years old. They're linked with the Valencia goalkeeper, the Georgian national. I don't know how you say his name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. You probably know who I'm talking about. He had a really good Euro showing. But I think that Liverpool are looking to purchase him and loan him to Bournemouth is what's happening, it looks like, based on what I've seen on social media. But I think they should go and get Kepa from Chelsea. 29 years old, still has a lot to give, still has a lot to show. He brings Premier League experience, and while he's had his critics, he also has his moments of brilliance, and a fresh start at Bournemouth could really help him rediscover his form and provide the cherries with a shot stopper for years to come. Now we've got Brentford, and for Brentford, I'm going to go with striker from Feyenoord, Mexican international, Santiago Jimenez. 5'11.5", not as large as a player like Ivan Toney, but here are a few of his stats when it comes to goal scoring. 0.84 goals, non-penalty goals per 90. 0.27 assists per 90, which ranks him highly among strikers in the outside of the top 5 European leagues. 2.68 shot creating actions per 90. Taking a look at some of his dribbling stats as well, 1.65 progressive carries per 90, as well as 1.07 successful take-ons. Really just a solid striker. I think he's a player that has a lot of potential. If you fit him into the right system, I think Thomas Frank could use a striker like this with Ivan Toney going out the window. I know they just signed that Brazilian from the Belgian league, but he's already injured. I say go ahead and double down and try to get the goals from Ivan Toney by committee by bringing in a second striker. Again, a player that's got a knack for scoring goals, already has 2 goals and an assist in 162 minutes this season. Just makes sense for a departure from Feyenoord, him to take the next step in his career to the Premier League. Brighton have been a smart team in recruiting all the time. Go get Ferdi Kadioglu. Could be the next name on that list. He is a Fenerbahce star at left back, but he is super versatile. Began his career in attack, has played in midfield, has played right back, played left back. He's done it all. And you see it in his stats: 8.83 progressive passes, 5.19 progressive carries, 2.08 successful takeouts, and 3.9 tackles per 90. All the way up and down the field, he is an impact player. Obviously, they have a Stupinian currently at that left back position coming back from injury. Valentine Barco, excuse me, going out on loan. It just makes sense for me to go ahead and get him in the door. Stupinian gets sold either this January or this summer, or next summer, excuse me. And then you've got Kadioglu as a player for the future. Give him a few years, and then you've got Barco, again, another left back, and it's going to put an impact on that Brighton position. Chelsea, again, Nicholas Jackson is not enough. And I did mention in my last video that they need a goalkeeper. So I'm going to go with a different approach for this one. Deadline day, bring in Victor Osimhen. Go get the Napoli striker, the Nigerian forward. Unbelievable striker. Not much else I need to say about him. Just go get him. Rumors swirling around of a swap deal with Napoli to bring, Osimhen their way and send Lukaku the other way. Conte really wants to work with Lukaku once again. I say make this one happen if you're a Chelsea I say make this one happen if you're Chelsea ownership. Crystal Palace have built a very strong defense these last few seasons. Anderson and Guehi currently as their center back role. Maxime Lacroix is 24 years old and could be a very solid replacement. It looks like one of them is going out the door this summer, and so I say player that's worked under Oliver Glasner at Wolfsburg. He's quick, strong, comfortable on the ball, everything you want in a modern center back. He's also got experience playing in a back three and a back four, giving Palace tactical flexibility. If they do lose one of their star defenders, he just makes sense to take their place. Everton is in dire need of defensive solidity this season, and Vinny Salza of Sheffield United feels like a good option for them. He ranked very highly among Europe's top 5 leagues, 99th percentile for tackles, 97th percentile for clearances, and 95th percentile for blocks among his defensive midfield counterparts. While he's not great at playing the ball, he's not going to be a ball-playing midfielder for you. Pair him up with a solid midfielder, and they could get the job done. His passing numbers, of course, leave much to be desired, as I mentioned. He's not progressing the ball by carrying it either much for Sheffield this last year. However, his ability to break up play and protect the backline could be very influential for Everton staying up this season. Fulham have had a fantastic transfer window, in my opinion. I think they've made some very good signings in Emil Smith Rowe, for example. But I would go solidify their spine of their team by going and signing Sander Berge and signing Joachim Andersen. Berge, with his physical presence and ability to carry the ball forward, could be a game changer in Fulham's midfield. You also have the passing range of Joachim Andersen, something he's well recognized for in the Premier League and has been influential in that Crystal Palace side by his ball playing ability. This brings depth but also quality and ensures another season in the Premier League for Fulham. Get these through the door and bring this exciting season to Craven Cottage. Ipswich Town wants to make their mark on the Premier League and stay as a Premier League side this season, and no better way to do that than securing the signing of Facundo Torres of Orlando City. 10 goal contributions in 2024 already. The right winger and Uruguayan international just would make an instant impact on that Ipswich Town team. I say go get him through the door. He fits that right wing role perfectly. He's got pace, he's got skill, he's got creativity. He could help push them through to that Premier League status and further that Premier League status, I should say. Omari Hutchinson on the left, Facundo Torres on the right. And I think even if they do go down, I think they should be able to maintain him. Of course, if he performs unbelievably well, he'll be a player that they end up maybe selling on for a very good fee and help them get back up to the Premier League in the future. Another team that got promoted this season, Leicester City, is in need of a spark on the wing as well. Jack Clark from Sunderland could provide that. Clark has already racked up 2 goal contributions this season. His underlying numbers are even more impressive. 7.67 progressive carries per 90, 3.89 successful take-ons per 90, and nearly 8 touches in the attacking box per game. Clark is a constant threat on that wing, and he could be very influential working on the left wing for Leicester City. Very good creatively, very good scoring goals. He's young and under the right guidance, which I think he will receive at Leicester. He could become a key player for the Foxes. Liverpool's midfield, again, is an area of concern for them. I would go and sign someone like Leon Goretzka. While he's not going to be the true 6 that maybe they desire, a lone 6, he does offer The passing ability, the size, the strength, everything except for the ability to play on his own that Fabinho has offered Liverpool before. I know they want that ability for him to play as a 6 on his own. They're not going to get that from anyone else. That's the quality of Leon Goretzka. They're not going to have somebody that can pass the ball and offer the defensive duties right now, just because of how the market is set up. There's just not many 6s available right now in that position, or many players available in that position, and with that skill set that they would want at Liverpool. Liverpool have lacked a physical presence since Fabinho left. Virgil van Dijk offers that in the back line, but in the midfield, they haven't had that physical presence that they desire, or that we recognized from a team like Liverpool when they had Fabinho. Go get Goretzka, 6'2". Manchester City is always looking for quality and depth, and Kyogo Furuhashi could be a smart addition to their squad. The Japanese forward has 19 goal contributions last season and 29 the season before for Celtic, proving he is a very reliable goal scorer. While he might not displace Haaland, obviously, he could be an option off the bench, replacing Julian Alvarez, providing Guardiola with a different type of forward who can press from the front and finish clinically. He also offers a little bit of link-up ability as well for Celtic, so he could do that as well for City, who will be competing on multiple fronts as they look to defend another Premier League title. Manchester United has shown interest in a defensive-minded midfielder, and Manuel Ugarte is that guy. He could fit perfect for them. Ugarte excels defensively, ranking in the 99th percentile for tackles and 97th for interceptions among Europe's top 5 leagues. His tenacity and ability to break up play is super important for Manchester United, who play a very counter style, especially now on their wings. I think 80% of their attacks against Fulham came off the wings, left and right wing, 40% each side, and then 20% through the middle. So he's not going to be expected to build through the middle. He's going to be expected to get that ball out wide so they can do their thing on the wing. So being able to offer a rock in the center of that midfield would be crucial for Manchester United. Go ahead and get Ugarte through the door. Newcastle United look like they're not going to be getting Mark Guehi, with Joachim Andersen leaving to Fulham. I say go ahead and get instead Tapsoba, 6'3", 25 years old, coming off a league-winning side with Bayer Leverkusen. Very good option. As he's entering his prime. His ability to win aerial duels combined with his composure on the ball makes him a perfect partner for Sven Botman. Fabian Schär is not getting any younger. Tapsoba comes in, long-term solution for Newcastle as they look to secure their position as a Champions League side, as even just a European side in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest have been busy this transfer window. I say one more signing that needs to get through the door is Haji Wright. With Chris Wood not quite fitting the bill, Wright could be the striker that Forest needs. 6'2". He's a big target up front, but he does offer the ability to push the ball forward himself, to drive through the defense. 3.93 progressive carries per 90. So he's not just that target man. He can move the ball forward himself. Forest needs goals to stay up this season, and Wright could provide them with a new dimension in attack that offers them just that. Southampton these last few years have been rebuilding a very young squad. I say go ahead and get Justin Bijlo. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but Dutch goalkeeper, over 100 Eredivisie appearances. Kevin Bazunu just not doing it right now. Just needs to get a little bit more talent or a little bit more experience before he can really go take on a number one spot at a Premier League side. Like I said, 100 Eredivisie appearances, post-shot expected goals of 0.38, so he does an excellent job of keeping the ball out of the net as well. With Southampton looking to stabilize their defense this year, he would be a valuable addition to their squad. Tottenham Hotspur have an interesting situation at their left-back position. Destiny Udogie, obviously the starter. Go get a player like Bradley Locko to compete with him. Sell players like Ben Davies and Sergio Reguilon, and then bring in Bradley Locko, 2.96 tackles and a 2.85 progressive carries per 90. He gets the ball up and down the field. I don't know how well he'll do at that inverted role that we see Udogie playing, or maybe not Udogie always, but because the way Tottenham play is a little different. But he does offer opportunities both forward and back for Tottenham, and so he would just have to adapt to that new role, and that's why he wouldn't start over Udogie, but he would offer a very good player on that backup position. West Ham, a team that's been active in the market this summer, as we all know. A left back is the last position I think they need to solve. Get Emerson out the door. Maybe not sell him, maybe keep him on the bench, so maybe not fully out the door, but you know what I'm saying. A new starter at left back, Kieran Tierney, could be the final piece to that puzzle at West Ham to solidify them in European spots. 5.24 progressive passes per game last season for Real Sociedad. And he can contribute both defensively and offensively, making him a very well-rounded option for West Ham's left back position. Finally, let's talk about Wolves. Go get João Mario from Porto, the right back. Get Semedo out the door. He's 24 years old. João Mario is still very young, but he has experience playing in a very good Porto side. Doherty and Semedo not quite delivering consistent performances that you would want at Wolves. I think he could take them creatively and defensively to the next level at that right back position. Also, something to note, he's got the same agent representation as Jose Sa, as Nelson Semedo, as I think Rodrigo Lopez as well. A lot of those Portuguese players that represent Wolves already is representing João Mario. So he's definitely a good option there for Wolves to take a look at from the Portuguese league, a league that they've gotten plenty of players from before. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cannot wait. We've got Sunday, we're going to react to the Arsenal versus Aston Villa. A few things we learned from it. And Tuesday, we're going to break down every single hit and miss from Todd Boehly era in Chelsea. So go ahead and let me know what you guys think. Hits and misses, what do you think? If you're watching this after the Arsenal game on Saturday, let me know what you saw from that game in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next one.